Should I be focused on SEO or Google Ads? All right, this is a great question. I get this all the time, and I think the answer that I'm going to give you, you're probably not even going to like, okay? So the short answer is, well, I guess there is no short answer. I think you got to really peel the onion back and understand the pros and cons of each category of organic search or of search engine marketing. And then you got to understand the traffic counts as a percentage, and you got to understand the pros and cons of each, as well as the runway to actually maximize each of these platforms. So let's say theoretically you are a brand new, service business, and you're maybe regional, maybe you're covering a few of your local towns. That's where the majority of your customers are coming from. You're the majority of small businesses in the United States. Okay, so I want to talk to you for a second. And what you want to think is, if you broke it down into category between paid search and organic search, you really have about 40% of paid search, or 40% of the first clicks happening inside of paid search, okay? And then another give or take 40% of clicks happening inside of organic. Now, if you're in the home service space, you can actually cut up that pie a little bit more, with about half of the paid search going into local service ads and the other half going into Google Ads. And then inside of organic, you can cut that up a little bit more. Half of organic is going to be going to, give or take, your Google business profile listings, AKA Google Maps, and the other half going into just organic rankings, like when your website shows up at the top of search. But nevertheless, for the sake of simplicity, we got two buckets. We got paid and organic. Now, it's important to understand the pros and cons of each, okay? Let's start with paid. With paid, I love paid ads. Why? Because it's the quickest to the cash register, okay? You can have an ad up within days, have a great online presence, a beautiful website, you have a lot of trust in place, great design, quickly loading, lots of great reviews, and all of a sudden you're converting traffic very quickly. The downside, you're paying for that traffic, and depending on your market, depending on how many competitors you have, it can really drive up that cost per click. So you are renting traffic, but guess what? It's predictable, it's scalable as well. So most of the companies I work with that are scaling, they're already at 500,000, 1 million, and they're trying to get to 5 and to eventually 10. Paid ads are the #1 place you can scale predictably, okay? But again, you're paying for that traffic, okay? You're renting that traffic. Organic is a totally different place, okay? Upside, #1, you're not paying for that traffic, okay? That traffic is completely free, but it's free in terms of how much you're paying per click, but you are paying in terms of the energy you're putting into getting ranked, okay? If you have 10 competitors in your same marketplace and they've been around for 10 years and they've been doing all the right stuff to rank organically, it's going to take you a lot more time and energy and effort to get ranked #1 at the top. So that is one of the downsides. There's a longer runway. The other downside you're going to have with organic is less predictability. Ultimately, what happens is you're at the mercy of Google's algorithm. Okay, same thing with Bing. You're at the mercy of Bing's algorithm. Same thing with showing up inside of the LLMs, right? You're at the mercy of someone else's algorithm, and that algorithm isn't always, how can I say this? These companies like Google aren't always the most transparent in terms of what's going to get you to rank #1. Also, the algorithms are always changing, so that's another downside. You're not sure if I'm ranking #1 today for this keyword that's driving this many leads, well, what if that algorithm changes tomorrow? And we see that all the time. So upside, you're not paying for the traffic. Downside, there's a longer runway between when you start working on your organic presence and when you start getting the leads in the door. And there's less predictability and really scalability in a certain way as well. So short answer, you should probably be doing both. Okay, the best businesses I work with have a comprehensive approach to marketing. It's not this versus that. That's a game you should not play. Okay, all these platforms work together. For example, someone could click on a Google ad and then they're going to go ahead and check your organic online presence through Google Business Profile. If your Google Business Profile is not optimized, your paid ads will not work. Okay, so you want to make sure both things in place. And by the way, another scenario of that to flip it around on you is you could have someone click on your Google Business Profile, visit your website from an organic search, and then not be ready to buy today unless you have Google Ads in place to remarket those people. Ultimately, you lose that traffic. So again, it's not this or that. You want to be doing both. with the proper expectation. So I hope that answers this. What we found is one of the top questions that is asked inside of the consultations that I do every day. Guys, my name is Nick Tsoukalis, owner of Real Top, and I hope I was able to give you some value today. Thanks.